Hello guys, today I'm gonna be showing you how to make gravity on Scratch. So this is gonna be a quick tutorial on just how to make player gravity and object gravity. So player gravity will look something like this. When we jump, it goes up and comes down. So I'll be showing you how to make this. And object gravity is when we launch something. So we're basically gonna uh, make this where the ball gets launched wherever the mouse pointer is. So these are the two types of gravity I'm going to be showing you today. Whichever is suitable for your project, you can use it. So first I'm going to be starting with player gravity. I'll be now making a new uh, project. And here, so the code first we start with making all the settings. So the stage will be floor. So the floor can just be a black square, and you can just put whatever you want, but you need to remember the color of your floor, otherwise it won't work. So in this case it's black. So inside the cat's code we can put when the green flag is clicked, we set the y to 0. So make a variable called y. And we don't need to show it, but now for the demonstration I'll be showing you what's actually going on with the y variable. So forever it's gonna change y by minus 0.8. It can be whatever you want, but I've found as 0.8 being the best number to do this. And also, if you don't know much about what's going on, don't change the number 0.8. I'm gonna change y, and then you can change y by the y variable. And if it's touching color black, so what it's gonna do, it's repeatedly gonna change y and go downwards. But then if it's touching the color black, it's not gonna do that. So whenever it's touching the color black, so my ground is black. If you have any other color, then you can take the color picker tool and click this, and you'll know the color of your floor. And then we can change y by the y value multiplied by -1. I'll show you why after I do it. So what this is gonna do is y value is basically 0.8. It's gonna repeatedly be 0.8, and whenever it's touching the color black, it's gonna do it's gonna change y by 0.8. So minus 0.8 plus 0.8 is 0. So it's not gonna move at all. So that's it for the gravity part. Now we're gonna make it jump. So you can put any key you want, but put it inside the touching color, because we don't want it to be able to jump in the air as well. So if the designated key, which in my case will be spacebar, is pressed, and also the y value is less than 0, then we can set y to 10. So this is gonna make the jump. But else we need to change it to 0 if it's the spacebar is not pressed. And I'll show you why in a moment. So what this is going to do is set Y to 10 whenever the spacebar is pressed. So we set Y to 10 and it falls back down. You don't see any difference. Why do we need to do else set Y to 0? You'll see just in a moment. If we don't, then after the Y value becomes higher, it starts floating in the air. So that's why else we need to set it to 0. So now when we run the code, we can jump, but this happens. But that's because now it works. But whenever we press space, it comes. Well, that's because we need to put it inside the black. So if you don't do that, then it's gonna do this. I'll show you why. It's because if it's not touching the color black, that means it's in the air. If it's in the air, it can jump anytime and it can double jump. So when we start, it does this and it's okay. So now I'm going to be showing you object gravity. We can keep the same stage. We can delete the backdrop. And if you want, I'll just, for the object thing, I'll make it the background nicer. I'll put it as blue sky and a green floor. And just for this demonstration, I'm gonna make a tank because it's kind of like shooting out of a tank. So I'll just do it for that purpose. But otherwise, maybe you have some other purpose for the object. So I can just make a rough tank. And it's done. I can put it here. I'll actually make the body color different. Something like this. And then we need to make the object. You might have a different object, but since I made the tank, I'll make the cannon as well. So I'm just making my cannonball. If you have something different, then well, it's your object. And then the code for this is gonna be, well, first we need to know what's the distance between this tank and the mouse pointer. So the object is gonna come out of something. So in your case, you need to make a sprite where it's gonna come out of. So I've made a tank as my sprite, and it's gonna come out from here. So if you don't want to put any sprite and you just want to come out from nowhere, then just put empty sprite, and that will work as well. So let's get into the code of the tank first. The code for the tank is just always getting the distance from the mouse pointer. So for this, we don't need a y variable, and we can make a variable called object speed. So the object speed, we need to set it as the distance to the mouse pointer. Well, that's it for the tanks code. Now for the bullets code, it's a bit more complicated, but it's actually very simple as well. But it's more complicated than the one we did just with the tank. So anyways, when we click start, we need to hide it because we don't need to actually show it. And whenever the key is pressed, so I'll put it as space again, then we show it. And then we need to make actually another variable called velocity. and we'll need this to make the object run smoothly. So first we set the velocity to 0, and we need to point it to mouse pointer. Point it towards the mouse pointer. And then we repeat until it touches the edge. So for now it's a whole open stage, and we need to find it only from the open stage. But if you want the bullet to only go until some point, you need to change the value of the repeat. So repeat until anywhere inside the stage. But if you have like a square box where the bullet or your object is gonna go, you can do that. So repeat until touching edge in this case. And we need to move some steps. Move. So this is gonna be a bit complicated, but all we need to do is object speed, which is our distance from the tank, from the mouse pointer to our tank, divided by 15. And then we change y by the velocity. So first it's 0, so it's just gonna change y by the velocity, which is 0. But then after that we need to change our velocity by -1. Well, that's the code for the bullet. Before we stop, we actually need to make it go to the position, which is the tank. So the tank is in whatever coordinates you have in your starting place of your bullet. So minus 191 and minus 142. So I'll put that. Go to minus 191 and minus 143. 2. And then we hide it. It actually makes more sense to put it on the top. And when we run the code, it goes. And well, that's it for the object gravity. And if you like this video, then please like the video, of course, and check out my other videos. And if you found this very helpful and interesting, then you can subscribe if you find it helpful. So yeah, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you next time.